Hello, world. Jotion Master here. Been a little while, been a few months. Been pretty busy teaching and training students, doing some ministry counseling and other said things. Notice the hair is not so long, which is kind of nice. I don't look like the wild mountain man of Monero. Um, but we really need to get into this, America. Everybody out there, YouTubers, men, women, children, aliens, parrot cracker people, however you may describe or distinguish yourself as. The world has been taken over by stupid, ignorant anarchists and virtue signalers who could care less about George Floyd and his family and the situation that took place in Minneapolis, and using it as a foothold for their political agendas of trying to deconstruct and destroy society. I don't know why people are not talking about this more. Some people are, some people aren't. Some people are probably scared to bring it up because they're afraid of being labeled or whatever. Well, that's only because you're an idiot. You know, if you don't have a moral ethical code that you stick to, that you understand that creates um, the ability to process and rationalize and to understand how circumstances and things work and be able to know what's lawful and what's unlawful, then you're practicing anarchy, tyranny, and communism and destruction. And that's exactly what these people are doing. And they're across the board. They're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, doesn't matter. Race doesn't play a role in this. This is pure wickedness and tyrannical evil now. These people are now starting to inhabit Seattle, Washington, within a 6-block radius, and they are trying to destabilize society. There are innocent people over there who are not involved with any of these matters, and they're just trying to lead their lives, and they are now being sucked into the socio-political injustice bullshit vacuum of stupidity that is starting to propagate a lot of people, and they're trying to get people recruited into their cause. Yes, I said clause because now their clauses of what their political agendas are starting to infiltrate into regular society. And these people who are within that 6-block radius now, they're being stuck and put into this destructive, mindset now with these people who, there's apparently a rapper there who's becoming like their pseudo warlord, and he's like slapping people around, and I've been like, try to slap me around, I put my foot up your ass. But that's what I'm trying to say is like we're now living in a country of cowards. They're kowtowing to people, the mob mentality. They're kowtowing to people because they're using a victimization mentality as a shield, as a front for their political agendas. And they're trying to defund the police. They're trying to defund, they're trying to destabilize the military. They're trying to do all this stuff. And this has all been part of the socialistic democratic plan from the get-go. And if you don't see that, you're an idiot. And that's what's going on right now, is that the socialistic democrats of the United States, yes, that's right, they're communists. They want communism. They want to destabilize capitalism. They don't want you to be able to open up your own business, regardless of what your scenario or situation is, so that way you can put food on the table for your family, so that way they can tell you how to regulate your life. Well, you know what? That's not going to happen to me. Okay, if I see someone trying to come to my front door and try to take my stuff, you're going to get a bullet in the head. I don't care. Right to bear arms. There's a reason why we have that. Whether foreign or domestic. And the police are now caught into this political gambit where they they're being put into a situation now where they're having to play politics, or having to play the social politics game, the race game now, and it's not fair to put them into that. You know, are there scumbag police officers out there who are dirty cops who take the cut? Absolutely. Do they need to be kicked out of the police force? Yes. But that doesn't mean all cops are evil. You've got evil black people. You have evil white people. You have evil Hispanics. You have evil Asians. Evil does not care about creed, nation, or country. It is how these people think. It is what they choose. It's what their process is. And that's what they care about. They care about the destruction and destabilization of other people's lives at the expense of their own viewpoints. And the ideologues, the people who are propagating social instability and using the front of racism as a guise to try to remove people out of political power, so that way they can destabilize and try to create an anarchist state, which is exactly what they're trying to do. Black Lives Matter is now becoming a political movement, not for black people, but of tyrannical evil socialists who want to try to destroy people's lives. That's what they are right now. I don't care if you're a protester. I don't care if you're a rioter. I don't care if you're a cop. I don't care any of that shit. If you truly care about the appropriate equality of all races and all people, you got to start reading. Because you don't know what that means. You don't understand what equality means. You don't understand what justice means. And I think people are starting to get so charged emotionally with it that they're not taking a look at the objective viewpoints of what it is. And because of that, they're following the sheep. They're following the flock. They're following the herd off the cliff. You are putting people's lives in danger, and it's dangerous to you as well. Because once this thing gets kicked off, there's no turning back. And you may wind up dead in the street because of it. And it don't matter if you're white, black, whatever. It's because that's what you chose. And you're going to have to live with those consequences for the rest of your life. Now you're going to get pulled into a group, almost like a gang admission. You're going to have to take somebody's life to prove that you're part of the group. That's what kind of psychos you got now. That's what these parties are about. And now you have all these people over there in Seattle, Washington, within that 6-block radius, and you got the governor, was it Jacob Fry, I think, who's there? And he's a pussy. He kowtowed before those people. He kowtowed before that mob. And, and there's like, defund the police. I'm like, okay, you want someone breaking into your store? You want someone coming in and taking your shit just because they feel like it? Fuck you. You're not an American. You're a scumbag. And you don't care about other people. You don't care about your family. You don't care about the repercussions that you're putting on other people. That's the most selfish thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm 38 years old. I've never seen anything like this before. Ever. It's been an unprecedented time in our history where we're living in a time where feelings and emotions are what dominating the socio-political atmosphere of society. And it is absolutely ludicrous. And people have to start getting control of themselves and not running rampant just because they see something on TV and then running over, to try to join this political party just because they feel ousted or outcasted. That's the real problem. There are a lot of real hurt people out there, and they're angry, and I get that. But that doesn't give you the right to go over to someone else's home and try to take their stuff or try to burn their house down. I don't know where that makes you a sociopath. That makes you, well, Bob Jones did it. Well, that doesn't mean Bob Jones isn't a convicted felon and isn't a scumbag. And, if you are following these people, if you were following Antifa, if you were following Black Lives Matter, You do not care about your race. You do not care about your family. You do not care about anybody except yourself. And you're using the victimization and racial charged victimhood as a shield. And you're a coward. You're a coward. I'm calling you all cowards. And if you want to step up and you want to protest correctly, you contact the local police department. It's called the right to assembly, where you work in coordination with local law enforcement. They tell you where to go and where you can protest without trying to burn people's homes and businesses down, without trying to create an anarchistic negative atmosphere and trying to destroy people's lives. Okay? I totally get it. That white police officer, Schopenhauer, he was white trash. He was a scumbag. And so were the other police officers that were involved with what happened. They used their power and their status to try to dominate that man. Granted, the other thing was that he wasn't the most outstanding citizen himself. He was a dopehead. He was a thug. And that's what a lot of these leftists are propagating in the black culture. Not the good man, not the man who's working a 9-to-5 job putting food on the table for his family, but the dude who goes in and out of jail. They're representing the thugs, the thieves, the gangbangers. They're representing all that shit. The child molesters, the pedophiles. Those are the people there. And if you don't see that that's evil, if you don't understand that, you need to get your head checked. You totally need to get your head checked. So this is Joe Schmaster giving you all a reality check. There are a lot of things going on politically with propaganda that are being promoted that are untrue. They're not factorial. They're not based in logistics. They're based off of bullshit and subjective opinion. And now we are living in a society of milquetoast men and weak leaders. And the moment you kneel before a mob, you've given in. You've given in to their demands. You've thrown away your values. You've thrown away your core. You've thrown away everything. And I'm going to tell you now, if I was in front of those people, if I was in front of that gathering of people and I was a governor or I was somebody like that, I wouldn't kneel before them. I might get my ass kicked, but I wouldn't walk in there without having a security force with me or having some kind of protection. But I can tell you, I wouldn't kneel before them. I'd get up on that stage. I've been like, look how you're shaming your family. Look how you're shaming people. Look how you're disrespecting your life and disrespecting yourself. You're acting like a bunch of spoiled kids. Y'all need to grow up. Take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for your communities. Stop blaming other people for your problems. Start taking that mirror and looking at yourself. That's the problem, though. You don't want to do that. You want to blame other people for your problems. You don't want to take responsibility for yourself. And if you did, well, then you wouldn't be having all these problems. And now it doesn't matter what race, creed, or nation you come from. Looking at yourself is a very hard thing to do. And taking responsibility for your actions is what dictates between a mature, responsible adult and a person who doesn't. And that's kind of common sense. But if you understand what that is, you got to start reading, you got to start learning, you got to start following what's going on with these people. Because now they are every single one of them, supporters, protesters, rioters, your destructive, wicked, evil, immoral people who are doing more damage to your race and to your culture than ever before. And if you don't see that, you got to pull your head out of your ass. Okay? Especially in the nuclear black family unit, with having a mother and a father to help raise those kids, that's what's going to change these kids from going out there and thugging around and trying to shoot streets up. Stop trying to idolize criminals and scumbags and molesters and pedophiles. If you're a leftist and you're supporting that, you're screwed in the head. There's something wrong with you. These are wicked, evil people who are doing evil things. And if you don't know that, you gotta get your head checked. And what's happening is that it's the deconstruction of the nuclear family unit. It says it right in the Bible about stuff like this, about how the family unit, man, woman, not man and man, not woman and woman, man and woman. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care what you got going on. You had two parents in that house that created you. That's how you became who you are. And a lot of these behaviors that are being taught or implemented now or accepted into our society are not acceptable. If you're 21 years old and that's what you want to do, and that's your decision, that's your choice. But don't put that on me. Don't put that on my kids. Don't put that in the school district. Don't put that in the school system. Because I saw something that was really disturbing. I think it was just about 2 weeks ago. I saw 9 and 10-year-olds with LGBTQ signs trying to promote. I tried doing protests for, I don't know, whatever it was. It was really stupid. If you use your children, you are a scumbag. You're a coward. You're a weakling. And I can't tolerate that, because you're using kids for your political agendas. It makes you less than scum. So this is Joe Shamash. You're here dropping his 2 cents. Feel free to comment, leave down below. You may or may not like my commentary or response back. Don't care, not afraid. First Amendment right, Constitution, rock on. And always remember, don't be stupid. Question all things and use wisdom. Joe Shamaster out. Rock on.